Vrinda Swanvitam Sri Chaitanya Vande Tidyananda Sahoditam Sri Nandananam Vande Shri Radhika Charanatram Govijana Smayuta Pranavanamanavaram Sri Garanganithananda Sri Vaita Chandra Gadadhar Sri Gauravaksvrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare. It's Sunday Satsang, July 6, 2025. This is Bhakti Rasmita Senior Class. We're on Wave Eastern Division, Chapter 2, verse number 215. Yatsevya Bhagavata Kuta Stasya Madhudvisha Rati Rasa Bhavetevra Padayor Vyasana Ardhana. So this is about serving devotees. This comes under the category of the 5 most important limbs of bhakti, which are called Panchanga Bhakti. One is Sadhusanga. Sadhusanga means serving Vaishnavas, hearing from them, associating with them, moving with them, and becoming one. So the translation of this verse, this is the Bhagavatam verse, 3rd canto, chapter 7, verse 19. So Kapila, maybe Kapila Muni is speaking, or someone Maitreya, I don't know. By serving devotees, one will develop bhava for Krishna. That bhava will vanquish material distress. In other words, any one of the limbs of bhakti, if you engage in those limbs without offense and get the mercy of Krishna and Vaishnavas, you can attain bhav. You can attain bhav by doing parikrama of Giriraj every day. You can attain bhav by doing puja every day. You can attain bhav by chanting Hare Krishna mantra every day. You can attain bhav by speaking and studying Bhagavatam every day. So this is one of the limbs of bhakti. Sadhusanga, serving Vaishnavas, can also give you bhav. So that's the basic idea of this verse. Now the next, he quotes Skanda Puran next to further elaborate on this point about the power and the effect of serving Vaishnavas. If someone sees a Vaishnava with wearing tulsi manjaris on their head and gopi chandan on their body, they'll get free from all their sins. So that's why Prabhupada always said we should wear our tilak and our flag. He referred to the Sikh as a flag. He's not on a Sikh, but he said. So he called it, what do you call it, Choti? Hindi called Choti. He called it Choti, a flag. It's our flag for the men, and every man and woman wears tilak. So then if someone sees them, they become sinless. So just walking around the market shopping and, doing whatever you do, people see you with a Sika and tilak and tulsi kanti mala, they'll get purified. So then he quotes first count of Bhagavatam. By remembering Krishna, our house becomes purified. It's capital U, I don't know why it's capital U. But it's about devotees get purified by, if they visit your house, or you wash their feet, or you touch them, or speak about them. And then in the famous verse that Krishna speaks to Arjuna, he says, one who claims to be my devotee is not my devotee, but one who is the devotee of my devotee, I accept as my true devotee. So that gives emphasis on the concept and principle of Sadhusanga Vaishnava Seva. There's a common phrase in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, which doesn't have any scriptural source, We can't trace it out to any Mahajan or the 6 Goswamis, but there's a famous statement, Jiva Dvaya Vaishnava Seva Namruchi. Have you ever heard that? It's very common. Jiva Dvaya Vaishnava Seva Namruchi. To show compassion and love to all living entities and to serve Vaishnavas. And by doing that, you get a taste for Harinam. That's one way to look at that phrase. Or that these three things, these three concepts and practices represent the essence of Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta. Compassion, seva, and ecstasy. Because seva is bliss. So ecstasy is Vaishnava, it's Namruchi. And Namruchi, Krishna Gunaruchi, Krishna Rupa Ruchi, and Krishna Lila Ruchi. Have taste to meditate on Krishna's Lila and look at his form and think about his form and think about and read about his qualities, or to write about his qualities, etc. So this is a famous verse we were quoting the other day, maybe yesterday. The first division of Bhakti Rasa Sindhu, chapter 2, verse 219. Yavanti Bhagavad Bhaktir Angani Kati Aniha Prayastavanti Tad Bhakta Bhaktirapi Buddha Vidu. All the Bhakti Angas described in relation to Krishna are also Angas in relation to the devotee. Remember I said that? Shavanam Kirtan Vishwaswaram Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanavedam apply to Krishna, 9 limbs of Bhakti to Krishna, Krishna Bhakti, but also Vaishnava Bhakti. We're worshiping and serving the feet of the Guru, or the Vaishnava is worshiping over in prayers, so that, like on Guru Purnima, people will do many of those limbs of Bhakti to their respective Gurus, worshiping their feet and singing their praises and like that. So, the 57th limb of Bhakti is verse 220, is Mahotsav, Vaibhav Mahotsav, observe festivals of Krishna. So as we observe Janmashtami, Radhastami, Nrsimha Chaturdasi, Shiva Chaturdasi, Guru Purnima, Avirbhav Titya of the Guru, etc. And he gives an example of worshipping festivals. There's a festival that comes every year, lasts for 1 month. What's it called? Urja Brata Mahotsava. Urja Brata. Urja is the Brata to worship Urja Devi. Who's Urja Devi? It's named for Radharani. It's in Bhakti Rasa Sindhu. Right here. And Urja means power. The word Urja, O-R-G-A, all the Urja words mean power, potency, strength. So she's called Urjeshwari. She's the queen of power. Women in general are powerful. They represent Shakti. Shakti means power. Krishna is Shaktiman and Radharani is Shakti. So he cites Padma Puran in verse 58. Specifically, he gives the category in 57 to observe all kinds of festivals. And the one festival he mentioned is Urja Dara. So, observing the Urja Brata in Padma Puran, which is called Damodar Mas. Yata Damodara Bhakta Vatsala Vidite Jane Sasyam Chadrisho Masa Salvam Urukaraka. If you just do a little seva, swalpam, during Damodar Mas, you can get great results. Because He says, Damodar is Bhaktavatsal. Says Damodar is very affectionate to his devotees. The month of the Kartik month, every month has a name like Madan, Mas, and Trivikram Mas, and all the Keshav Mas, the month of Keshav, the month of Trivikram. So the month of Kartik is called Damodar Mas. Although who is the Devi of Kartik? In Stavamala, by Rupa Goswami, he says Kartiki Devi. It's also in Mathura Mahatmyam by Rupa Goswami. He calls Radharani Kartiki Devi. She's the goddess, the Devi of Kartik. So we observe the month of Damodar and offer Gilam to Damodar according to the injunctions of Shastra. And what injunction means something you cannot avoid. You want to know what junction? There's something called Vidhi. Vidhi Nisheda. Vidhi means an injunction. There's rules and regulations. Yama and Niyama. And there's something called Vidhi. Yama and Niyama, you may do it or may not do it. But Vidhi is an injunction which you can't avoid. Ekadasi Vrat, fasting on Ekadasi, is an injunction in the Shastras for Vaishnavas. One Yama Niyama is to rise in the Ram Mahar Tower. That's the Yama. To rise 4 o'clock every day, like you all do, of course. Or mentally do it. But it's not an injunction. But Kartik month is an injunction. It says that one fails to observe Kartik, becomes born an animal, all kinds of punishment. And also Janmashtami. Many Hindus don't observe Janmashtami. But it's very severe punishment for ignoring Janmashtami. They don't fast on Janmashtami. But that's an injunction to fast on Janmashtami. It's not a Yama Niyama. You can do it or not do it. So that's why all these things, when Prabhupada often made a quote in lectures, he said, Indian culture used to be such that someone was saying, oh, Kartik Vrata, you should observe fast. Then the person that was hearing that would say, is that a Vedic injunction? Or is it a niyam? Is it yama or niyam? Is it do or don't? He said, no, it's an injunction. Okay, I'll fast. People are so much respectful of the Vedic literature and up until 1900s, 1920, 1950. After that, after 1950, people don't follow anything, hardly. But until 1950, even in India, people took very seriously. Even a businessman would observe some Kartik Vrata. He said it's an injunction, offer Gila every day. It's an injunction. It's not like, I don't feel like doing it. No, that's an injunction. That's the minimum thing, offer Gila every day. So, this is something we should not take lightly. Okay, now let's... So, Vishnu comments that even a little seva can produce huge results. Like the Puranas that describe observing Kartik Vrata, someone might say, I'm a beggar, I'm poor, I can't afford ghee, I can't afford oil, I can't afford cotton matches, I'm just a beggar, whatever food I get on the street I eat. So it says there, if you relight a ghee lamp in Kartik that's gone out, you relight somebody else's ghee lamp, you get the benefit of offering a ghee lamp. So you go in the temple or somewhere and there's a ghee lamp burning, one that's gone out, you take the burning ghee lamp and relight the one that's gone out, that one comes back to life because the wind blew it out or something or whatever, and then you get a benefit of offering ghee lamp. So you see the real benefit is the bhav. Bhav, but not just do manasik bhav and no action. But the thing is, he had the idea. He was poor. He didn't have facility or money to buy ghee or oil. But he had the bhav. Yes, I want to do some puja. I want to worship God in Kartik. So let me relight this other person's extinguished ghee lamp. And I can please Krishna this way. So that's the bhav. The main bhav is that. And you can also, besides that, of course, you can do it by manasi. Maybe he can't even walk, maybe he's a leper, has no legs. So he can just sit where he is and think, I'm offering a ghee lamp to get the benefit. So he quotes another verse about the glories of Kartik, observing Kartik in Vrindavan, Mathura. It's also from Padma Puran. If someone worships Krishna during Kartik, he gets bhakti. But if he does it if he comes to Mathura and serves Damodar in Vrindavan Mathura during Kartik, one can easily get bhakti. So that's good. We have some fortunes. Somehow or other to stay in Vrindavan will get bhakti. And observing Janmashtami is text 224. It's the limit of bhakti number 59. And then we come to the next Panchanga Bhakti is verse 225. Shri Murti Angri Sevana Priti, to serve the lotus feet of the Thakurji with great affection and love. And he quotes a verse from Adi Purana where Krishna says, if someone serves me, I give him bhakti. Serves the Murti. Then in verse 226, he talks about Bhagavat Seva, hearing Bhagavatam. Shri Bhagavat Artha Swado. Swado means to taste, to relish, the meaning and value and conclusion of the Bhagavatam. And then he quotes a verse that glorifies the Bhagavatam, which is in the first canto, chapter 1, verse 3. It says, this is Pivita Bhagavatam Rasa Aliyam. You should drink the rasa of Bhagavatam till you get destroyed. Aliyam means pralaya, means destruction. You should hear the Bhagavatam until there's nothing left in you except Bhagavatam. All you know about is the Bhagavatam. It says, Rasam Aliyam, Bhagavatam Rasam. Jiva Goswami describes that Bhagavatam is described as rasam because it's full of sweetness. It means that the real intention of this word rasam is that the Bhagavatam is completely sweetness. It is made of sweetness and nothing else. That's why we repeatedly hammer you guys and hit you over the head. Read Bhagavatam every day, every day, every day. Yeah. Okay. Later. Reading and hearing is the same. Hearing is also. The scripture Bhagavatam is rasavat, tasty. But this word ras, come on guys, means that the Bhagavatam is solely composed of ras, sweet taste. These guys are really fired up today. Rainy season is puppy making season also. You know what I mean? It's puppy making season, so and all the dogs are a little disturbed, you know. That's what happens, you know. they're barking day and night. Usually only at night, but they're barking all night, 24-hour barking. Kind of barking. Aliyam, the word aliyam is also, Jiva Goswami has a very long commentary on this verse. Aliyam means you keep drinking the Bhagavatam until you die, or even after attaining the bliss of moksha, or Brahmananda, once you realize the ambrosia available in the bhakti rasa of the Bhagavatam. Jiva Goswami says, in the Bhagavatam there are two types of ras. Both are filled with preeti, affection for Krishna. One type of ras is that kind of ras which leads up to the topmost taste. That means bhakti ras at the level of nishta, bhakti ras at the level of ruchi, bhakti ras at the level of sakti, and bhakti ras at the level of bhav. Then it's called bhav. And then the second type of ras is the topmost taste, which is at level when you attain prema by studying Bhagavatam. And then he goes, that's really amazing purport. I'm just going to, because that's about 8-page purport of this verse, the Bhakti Rasa. There are two types of people that experience the ras. Those who are taught about the ras of the Bhagavatam, and those who are natural rasikas, who are participating in Krishna Leela. Those who are in Krishna Leela experience the ras of Leela and realize directly the essence of ras. But those who are learning about ras experience that ras to some degree because they're outside of the pastime. This being so, then they should hear the essence of that ras, of the pastimes, about the associates who are directly experiencing those leelas. And they should identify with those experiences as their own realization of ras. That will have the effect because the rasa of Bhagavatam flows like a river from the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami, who is a direct experiencer. Because he similarly identified with the experience of direct participants in the Leela. What is that practice called? Sadarnikaran. Sadarnikaran means generalization or equalizing, equalizing your feelings, your mood, your thoughts, your idea of seva with the moods and seva and feelings of the people, the eternal associates of Krishna in his Brajlila. Like how is Tulsi Manjari feeling? How is she thinking? How is she responding to Radharani now? How is Rupa Manjari responding, feeling in this pastime? What is she doing? What is her seva? How is she feeling? Her feelings should become mine. That practice is called Sadarnikaran, which is described later chapters of Bhakti Rasa Sindhu. But Jiva Goswami is describing this is another way we can taste the ras. So we can taste ras even as a sadhaka. The true experience of ras comes at bhav and prema, but we get some drops. Like you get some drops of some sweet drink. What does that do? If somebody has a cup of sugarcane juice, they take an eyedropper and say, "You want to taste it?" And they put a few drops. Oh, that's good. That taste of a few drops of ras, what does it do?
Hankering.
Creates hankering and enthusiasm and attachment. Hankering to taste more, enthusiasm to go get more. and attachment to that drop and attach to getting more drops. That's the idea of reading Rasa literature and hearing from Rasa Vaishnava. Aniyor, I want more. Giraj Dharan Ki Jai. Now this first glorifying Bhagavatam in first canto, chapter 1, verse number 3, he continued, it says that this fruit of the Bhagavatam has come from the tree of the Vedas. The whole Vedic literature is like a vast banyan tree. Branches everywhere, leaves everywhere. And there's a fruit there. The fruit of the whole tree is the essence of the tree. And that fruit is the Bhagavatam. The essence of all the Vedas. Sara Vedanta Saram Hi. Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyate. So the Bhagavatam is the essence of rasa of all the Vedas. So Jiva Goswami comments on this fruit. Because if you have a fruit, a ripened fruit at the top of a tree, if you drop it on the ground, hits the ground and it blows up and gets wasted. You know, it's right bang against the ground and it cracks open and all the fruit gets lost. So he explains, this fruit of the Bhagavatam is clearly full of sweetness. Even if it falls, even after falling from a high point of the tree, it doesn't break, it loses sweetness. It comes down from Narayan. Who's the one that gets the fruit from Narayan? Brahma. Who gets the fruit from Brahma? Narad. Who gets the fruit from Narad? Who gets the fruit from Vyas? Who gets the fruit from Shukadev? Okay, you're ahead of the game here. What about you? And when the fruit of a parrot nibbles on a fruit, some of the saliva in the parrot's mouth makes that fruit even sweeter. Some chemical transformation. There's some phenomenon like that. So when Shukadev Goswami gets the fruit, and then that fruit is given to Sutta Goswami, who heard Shukadev Goswami speak it, gets sweeter. So Jiva Goswami says, what is implied here is that without Guru Parampara, one cannot drink the Bhagavatam. He said, without Guru Parampara, one cannot drink the Bhagavatam in its unbroken form, just by trying to taste it through one's limited intelligence. That's a great plug in this commentary which Jiva Goswami for Guru Parampara. It doesn't talk about Shiksha Parampara or Bhagavad Parampara, because Guru Parampara means Guru Diksha Parampara. Of course, they'll say, this argument you can't win. A man convinced against as well as others the same opinions. So Sri Goswami was, what happened when he heard the Bhagavatam? Yeah, before he heard the Bhagavatam, Sri Goswami in the womb of his mother, he was Brahman realized. He had realized Brahman. So he had totally detached from this world. He had no clothes, he ran out to the forest. He didn't see any duality, it was all one. Everything was Brahman. So no one felt any disturbance seeing him naked. He didn't feel a disturbance seeing other people naked. But when he heard the Bhagavatam, he became a devotee. He gave up his idea of Brahman realization, became a Bhagavan worshipper. So, And now, so because we're hearing about the Bhagavatam, and we heard about Sadhusanga, now again, this is, sometimes the logic of Shastra doesn't follow what we consider normal progression. Now he's going back again, speaking about Sadhusanga, in verse 228. Here's talking about Sadhusanga, then he talked about hearing Bhagavatam, and now he's talking about Sadhusanga again. He talked about Srimurti Puja. Now he's going back to Sadhusanga. This famous verse, 228. He said, talks about how to choose Sadhusanga. Sadhusanga means association. So, Sajatya Ashaya Snigdha Bhagavad Bhakta Sangha. He said one should associate with like-minded, affectionate devotees. And there's a commentary by Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath. And this very important verse. Oh, interesting. So it talks about, this verse is used as an example, just Jiva Goswami's commentary, because it's a very good instruction. So devotees should be affectionate and kind to, well, if you're listening to them. So in the context of this discussion, the question was asked, in the practice of bhakti, I associate with devotees, but there's many books written by Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So which ones are favorable to associate with? So there's a group of books. They're called Padatis. Padati means a book of you can say instructions how to do bhajan, how to worship Radha and Krishna. There's many Padatis. So this question was, which Padati should we follow? So this question was asked by Satyanarayana Das Babaji to his guru, Haridas Shastri. And Haridas Shastri said this: there are many Padatis in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Those written by Jan Chandra, who is a disciple of Rakeshwara Pandit. Jan Chandra was a disciple of Gopal Guru. Gopal Guru is a disciple of Rakeshwara Pandit. It's called Gaur Govinda Swarana Padati. And one written by Siddha Krishnadas from Manasi Ganga Govardhan called Gaur Govinda Gutika. I think that's damn it. So the word Padati means a process to attain spiritual perfection. So his guru said, these Padatis are followed by others, but we are followers of the Padati of Rupa and Sanatana. Which means, what did Rupa and Sanatana teach in their books about doing Bhakti Bhajan? What did they teach? Vishrambhena Guru Seva. They taught all these teachings of how to do bhajan and worship Radha Krishna. Surrender to the Guru and take diksha, get shiksha. But they taught, anyway, let me go on and finish what I said. This is our Sajatiya. So this means Sajatiya. What does Jati mean?
Family, caste.
Means family. Jatiya means family. Sajati, with my people. Sajjana, Sajati, my people. So this is our Sajatiya. We think that everybody's great. You're great, your Padati's great, but we strictly follow our own lineage. So we should associate only with such devotees of similar mind and same line. What is our process? Our process is to follow our Guru. That's what Rupa Sanatana Goswami did. They did not devise anything new. They followed their Guru. Their teacher was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because who did Lord Chaitanya teach personally?
Rupa Sanatana.
So what Lord Chaitanya told them to do, they followed. Their process, the process teaching the Rupa Sanatana is the Bhadati. So they followed their Guru or teacher, who was none other than Lord Chaitanya. Rupa Goswami gave the Bhadati the process to attain perfection in his books. What is that Bhadati? Rupa Goswami said, Guru Bhadashraya, Shri Krishna Dikshadi Shikshana, Vishwambhaya Gauraseva. These are the most important of the 64 limbs. Guru Goswami has already said everything. What more do we need? So Rupa Goswami, when he talks about meditating on Siddhadeha, he talks about meditating on one Siddhadeha. It's because it's in singular. It says, Seva Sagrupena Sirupena Shatra. Sirupena is singular. It doesn't say meditate on two Siddhadehas. The concept of meditating on two Siddhadehas was introduced by Sri Krishna. And subsequent acharyas after him also propagated that idea. But Rupa Sanatana propagated the idea of meditating on Siddhadeha in Vrindavan as a Sakhi Rupi Manjari. Very interesting. And more I have in this answer. So Sajati means associating with the same line of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, have the same mood and bhava which we wish to attain. When we first start practicing bhakti, we don't know our permanent devotional mood, sthai bhava. So how can we associate with someone of our own bhava? Even from the beginning, we should associate with like-minded devotees, those who have the same mood that we have. For example, if you're into studying Shastra, you should do seva to or learn verses or study Shastra with other devotees that are into the same thing. If you're into Leela Smaran or Prikma, then you should associate devotees who are into Leela Smaran doing Prikma. Just like there's stories from going to Kund to do 2 Prikmas of Gordon every day. 2 people associate with them and then end up taking initiation. And what do?
Parikrama, 2 times.
They do 2 Prikmas of Gordon every day because that's what their guru is doing. So they associate and they like that, so they do that, they follow that. So that's how they get perfection, by following the guru. It's not that your guru is into one thing, and you say, I'm going to be into something else, then you should go to a different guru and take initiation again. That's the idea. So if you want to increase your mood, it's best to associate with devotees who are also Ultimately, Rupa Goswami is referring to the mood and meditations of your guru. Sajati means associating with your own family, means your guru, god brothers and goddesses. That is the best association. Because if you associate with others, invariably they will say, my guru said this, such and such. Your guru said that. Then what do? You're at a conflict. So then if you have affection for that person, you say, oh yeah, you're right, my guru's not right. I should go here. So then you're anishtita bhakta. You're still an arch nivritti. That's why it says you should wait. In Hari Bhakti last chapter 2, it says you should wait 4 years before you take Diksha. You meet your guru, hear your guru, associate your guru, minimum 1 year, best 4 years. And so 4 years, you should have heard everybody's ideas and opinions, and heard the guru you have to choose with, then make your decision. Now you choose the guru and then run away after a year or something. That's a big mistake. Take your time, it's a serious engagement. So your guru said one thing, another guru said another thing, there'll be a clash and conflict, and make offenses, then you'll feel uncomfortable. Therefore, the best association with our own God brothers and God sisters. Then there's no inhibition. You can discuss philosophical points and principles of bhakti that you're following. It's a very long purport. It's like 8-page purport, this verse, Shiva Goswami. Vishnu doesn't comment because Shiva Goswami said everything. And this is the famous verse which you often heard about. This is 229, chapter 2. It's from Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, which is also in English if you want to read it. You get it in Rasbihari Bookshop to have it. A devotee takes on the qualities of the person they associate with, just as crystal takes on the color of the object next to it. A wise person should take shelter of those who have qualities like their own. This shows the power of association with like-minded person. This verse was spoken by Prahlad to Hiranyakashipu. He said, where do you get all these spiritual ideas? He said, I got them from Narada Muni. Where did you meet him? I didn't meet him. I heard him in the womb of your wife. Oh, I was in the womb of your wife, Kayadu. I heard Bhagavatam. And so I developed the qualities of Narada Muni by hearing about him, from him. Okay, we'll continue there next week. Next week he talks about Nam Sankirtan. More so, that was about Sadhusanga, and then he goes back to Nam Sankirtan.